Hey y'all, so I'm getting ready to take my Christmas pictures with our family. With my family, sorry. We do it every year. So, of course, I'm crunching for time. So I'm going to do a voiceover. You're going to see me create a simple, really pretty bronzy, because our colors are gold and tan. So, a bronzy look. So, it's going to be a voiceover because I got to hurry up. But stay tuned. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys want to see. Let me know what you guys like, what you don't like. And I'll continue to post. I'll post like I always do. All right, guys. Come do makeup with me. Per usual, we are starting off with the eyebrows. I always brush my eyebrows in the place of the direction that they're going. I don't do anything extra with it. I just brush them in their direction. Then I take my Benefit eyebrow pencil in shade 4.5, and I always underline the bottom of the eyebrow, and then I underline the top part of the eyebrow, and then I just fill them in. I did the right eyebrow already off camera, so I'm just showing you my left really quick. I do like hair-like strokes in the front where my Benefit pencil just goes in an upward direction just to create fake-like hair strokes. And then I just fill in the brow. I try to make it as light as possible because, who wants to walk around with dark eyebrows? I try not to, okay? And if I do, that means I put too much time into my brows. Anyways, sorry. Now I'm going in and I'm going to conceal the eyebrow. So this allows you to have the shape that you really want for your eyebrow. I take the Morphe eyeshadow brush, and this is in number M432 brush, and I just underline the brow. I'm using the Kevin Aquana XX13. I use a shade that's not too light, that highlights the brow, but it doesn't do too much, if that makes sense. So again, I'm just lining, and then I bring that concealer down to my eyelid, and I use that for my base to my eyeshadow. This is the NYX brow gel, and this product allows my hair and my eyebrows to stay in place. It's a really good product. It's not expensive, and it does what it's supposed to do. Okay, so I brush that in the eyebrow first, and then I brush down my concealer because I allow that NYX brow gel to kind of dry down a little bit before I apply my Air Spun loose face powder. I apply that to my eyelid base, and I apply that to my eyebrow. I apply it to my eyebrow so that my eyebrow's nice shiny, and I apply it to my eyelid just so that it's not sticky and allows the eyeshadow to stick to that creamy concealer that we applied. Okay, so here I am using a transitional shade. This is just a brown shade. Again, I'm going for a bronzy look, so I do something very pretty and very subtle. So again, this is just a brown, pretty transitional shade. When I use transitional shades, I try to use a color that's kind of close to my skin complexion, unless I'm going for like an orangey color. Okay, so now I'm going in with my second color. This is, I mix two different browns in the Makeup by Mario shades. One is a dark brown and one's even more darker, and I just mixed the two just to create a dimension to my eyelid, and I really just apply that to the end of my eyelid, and I kind of bring it over a little bit to the front. Again, this is just bringing some dimension to the eyelid because I'm going to do a soft cut crease. So you'll see me apply a concealer that's lighter than my skin complexion, and I just apply it to where I want my glitter, my gold glitter shade to pop out a little bit more. And the only reason why I use a concealer versus just applying that glitter shade is because it allows the glitter to pop out more. If I really want to do like a really soft cut crease, I don't apply concealer, and y'all have seen me do that before, and it creates a really pretty glitter, but it's not too bold. When I apply the concealer, it allows that glitter or that shimmery shadow to pop out more. So again, this is just a concealer that I'm using. This is Charlotte Tilbury, but you can use any concealer. And like I said, you're just really using this to create your glitter shade to pop out more. So I am using my finger and I'm applying the glitter shade first. When you use your finger, it pops out a lot more than a brush. So I use my finger first just to create the base to the glitter shadow that I want. And then you'll see me go in with a brush, and then I really define my shape of where I want this shade to be on my eyelid. So here I'm just using my brush and I'm just being a little bit more precise of where I want this shade to be. And I'm just kind of going back and forth between where I want the gold shadow and that dark brown to be. And again, I don't try to get too crazy with cut creases. Here I'm just using a softer brown shade. It's lighter than the darker shade that we use for the back of the base. So this is the third color that we're using. It's just a lighter brown, and I'm just using that in between the gold and that dark brown. So it's kind of like a transitional brown shade from gold to light brown and to dark brown. These are the only colors that I use to my eyelid. It looks very subtle, it looks very soft, and it's very pretty. But you do this step just to allow everything to blend in or to mesh in well versus two colors just smack down next to each other. You want it to have like a transitional blend. Okay, I'm using a makeup wipe remover and I'm just getting rid of any excess of eyeshadow powder that could have fell on the face. And then I use my e.l.f. Holy Hydration Moisturizer here, and I'm just applying it all over the face. I want to make sure that my face is nice and moisturized before we go in with makeup or product to the face. This is the Bobbi Brown eye cream, and I apply only underneath my eyes. This allows the concealer to look very seamless under the eye and prevent creasing. Okay, so now we must set the face so it doesn't get oily. So this is the e.l.f. Matte Putty Primer, and I apply it to my T-zone areas, basically the areas that I may get oily. So that's my upper cheekbones, my nose, my chin, and my forehead. I really just apply it to my whole cheek, honestly, because that all can get oily. And especially with me taking pictures, I don't want my face to look oily at all. So I'm just applying this primer to the areas that I think that's going to get oily. Okay, so this is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. This gets very sticky. It allows that foundation to stick to your face and not to go anywhere. This allows your face to stay in place. It just works very well with your makeup and allowing it to set. Okay, so I went in with my Estee Lauder Double Wear Foundation in Sandalwood 6W1, and I'm just applying that over my face. I'm using the Morphe brush in E63, and you see I applied it to the face first, and then I start to blend. You want to make sure you blend this over the entire face. Go underneath your chin, go underneath your jaw. You want to make sure everything blends in seamlessly. So take your time with this step. It takes me maybe about 3 minutes up to maybe longer, just depending upon what kind of foundation I use. You just want to make sure your base to your makeup is settled into the face before you start applying more product, okay? This is a concealer that I'm using. I'm using the Born This Way, and this is in the shade Mocha. I love this shade. This is like a perfect shade for me when I don't want to go too crazy. So again, y'all, I told y'all I'm trying to go a little bit lower underneath the eyes. I don't know why, but I like the way it looks. So I apply that under my eyes, under my nose, my chin, and my forehead. And then I go in with a slightly brighter shade, and I use the Butterscotch shade. You'll see me use that in just a second. And I just use that just to highlight underneath my eyes only. Okay, so this is the butterscotch that I was talking about. You probably don't think that there's a difference in the color, but there is. It's a brighter shade, but it's not too crazy. It's like a subtle brightness underneath the eye. So while I'm allowing my concealer to thicken up, to give more coverage, I let it sit on my face probably about 5 minutes, honestly. And with that time, I'm using my cream bronzer, and of course I'm using my LYS, and this is in the shade Strength. I apply it to my upper cheekbones, underneath my jawlines, and my forehead. This is a beautiful bronzer. It looks very pigmented, but trust me, it blends out very well. So don't get scared with using this product. So I'm going underneath my jawline first, because sometimes I can apply it and I can forget all about blending it because you don't really see it, okay? So you see where I placed it? I placed it underneath the jawline. So it's not on my face, it's underneath. And that just creates a dark shadow, and it makes your face look a lot slimmer. It kind of get rid of that turkey neck that you may have. You don't want to show that, especially in pictures, baby. So I had to get rid of that. I had to color that darker, honey. So that's what you're using that for. So now I am just blending it to my cheekbones here. You want to make sure when you blend on your cheekbones, you blend it in an upward position. So bring it up to lift your face up. And then with your forehead, you want to make sure you blend that product into your hairline. You don't want any lines of demarcation where you see the foundation and then the bronzer. You want to make sure everything blends in good. And then I'm just going in with on my other side of my cheekbone. So I do the forehead, the cheekbones, and my jawline. And this allows your face to look more snatched, okay? Okay, so I am using my Real Technique setting brush. And baby, this brush was a little bit more fluffy than I expected. I had just washed it and this looked a little crazy, but it worked. I had no complaints. We started off a little rough, but again, I blend out my chin first, and then I go underneath the nose, and then I go underneath my eyes. I allow the concealer directly underneath the eyes to sit a little bit longer, so I blend that area in last. And then when you feel like you might use too much concealer, don't be afraid to use your old brushes. Like that's the brush that I use for my foundation. I want to use that because the concealer, I don't want it to be too low on my face. So I take my foundation brush and I just use that product that's left over on the brush, and I blend out the concealer so that that color of the concealer blends in with the contour and with the foundation shade. So you'll see me go back and forth between, here's my contour brush that I use. So you'll see me go back and forth between concealer, foundation, and the bronzer brush. Don't be afraid to use your old brushes, because I'm telling you, with the old product that you used earlier, you want it to blend in anyway. So go ahead and use those brushes because it has product still left over, which allows the colors to mesh in well. You're going to see me do the same thing with my forehead. I'm going to blend in the areas, and the more you push it outward to your hairline, the concealer, the bigger you're going to make your forehead. So try not to push it out where it's going to be big. You want it to kind of stay closer to the center part of your forehead, unless you have a small forehead and you want to make your forehead look a little bit bigger. I don't. So you'll see me go back and forth between the concealer and that contour brush or that bronzer brush. So I'm getting ready to set underneath my eyes. But before we do, you want to use your sponge. To use your sponge, and you want to get rid of any excess concealer or product that's on your face, because you don't want to set a bunch of product on your face because it's going to look all cakey. So use a moistened sponge and then just push in that concealer or that product. And you see I'm going back and forth between brushes, and you see how well my face blends in, right? So make this crazy face, y'all. And then after you push in any possible creases underneath the eyes, and then go in with a pressed powder. That's it. I'm using the Maybelline press powder in number 330, and I'm just setting underneath the eyes first. I like using a pressed powder before a loose powder because I don't know, I just feel like it makes it look more natural and it looks more seamless, if that makes sense. So I use a pressed powder first, and then here I'm using a loose powder. This is the one size in shade translucent, and I'm just using my powder, my triangle powder puff. And I push it into the loose powder. I apply it to my hand to get rid of any excess of powder, and then I apply it to the face. And you see how it brightens underneath the eyes. So I push it in. I don't like baking underneath the eyes because I want my face to look seamless. I don't like when you see me come to my face and you see a bunch of powder on my face. So I don't apply so much. It may look like a lot of powder now, but it's really not, because I make sure I'm getting rid of any excess of powder. So I push it in. I push it underneath the eyes, my chin, underneath my nose, and my forehead. Excuse me. I apply this loose setting powder to all the areas that we concealed. And on the bridge of the nose, what you see me doing now is where I bake. I only bake on my nose. You'll see me bake on the side of my nose and the bridge of my nose. I'm just using my sponge just to get rid of any excessive concealer that could be on my forehead, because again, you don't want to set any cakey product. So like I said, never be afraid to use your brush or your sponge that you've used already before. Okay, so I am now using a contour. This is in Pat McGrath in Mahogany. You see the difference on the sides? Oh, I love this product. It's a beautiful, rich, dark brown shade. I use this to give shadow to the face. That's what a contour does. It brings shadow and it brings dimension to the face. So I'm going to go over my cheekbone areas and I'm going to go over my forehead. And I don't think I show it in my recording, but I also go underneath my jawline too, because you want to set all the areas that we use the LYS. And then now I want to warm the face up, because remember, we're not using any blush. So I'm going to warm my face up with using a bronzer. A bronzer has more of a reddish color, so it warms the face. And it's almost like a blush as well. So I'm using the Fenty in Mocha Mami, and I'm just going over the top, or I'm going on top of that contour shade. Okay, so y'all saw that contour my nose, and I got crazy. Look at that. Oh, look how dark that is. But we're going to fix it. Don't worry. We're going to fix it. More product does not mean better. It means more work. Start off with little and build yourself up, okay? Learn from what I'm doing. So anyways, I'm using my angled brush in Black Opal Powder in Bronze Blue. And I am just going from the tip or the front of the eyebrow, and I bring it to the tip of the nose. This allows your face to look snatched, honey. Okay, so the slimmer you want your nose is you're gonna have the powder on the bridge of the nose be slimmer. Okay, so bring that powder in and go on the top of the nose. Okay, don't be afraid to go on top of the nose, because that's gonna snatch up your nose. Okay, so I am now reverse contouring my nose. So I'm using that one size translucent shade, and I'm going over the edge of the sides of the nose, and I'm going to bake that powder as well. And this I was hoping was going to help with that extra contour that I put on my nose, which helped, but I had to apply more later, and you'll see. Okay, so now we need to set the entire face. So I'm using my one size, and then this is in the shade Dark 1, and I'm going over my entire face except for underneath my eyes, because I still want my eyes to be bright underneath. So I go over the entire face, and this just allows your face just to mesh in well all together. Okay, so now I'm taking a brush. I don't have any product on this brush, and I'm swiping away that extra baking powder we had on the nose, the bridge of the nose, and I'm pushing that loose setting powder underneath my eyes into my face. So I'm not wiping underneath my eyes, I'm pushing. So with that brush, you kind of pound on there. And you see, I feel like I should have let that bake a little bit longer to help get rid of that harsh dark line, which I absolutely hated. So I'm just going back and I'm using more translucent powder, and I'm just allowing that product to sit a little bit longer on my nose. Okay. Okay, so this is the Glowish Hooded Beauty setting powder, and this is like an illuminating pressed powder. This is in the shade 04 Light Medium, and I only use it to the upper part of my cheekbones because it gives an luminous look. It kind of like highlights as well, and so I use that just to highlight underneath my eyes as well. So I use that Morphing setting powder, and I'm just setting in all that powder because you don't want your face to look powdery. You want to set it with a setting mist, and I'm using the Morphe with that one. So I didn't want to, like I said, I didn't want to do anything crazy with the eyes. I just wanted a black under eye. Y'all know what I mean. So I'm using a black liner. You see the lashes is on. Lashes always do the eyes. I mean, the eyes don't look the same unless you put the lashes on. When you put your lashes on, you be like, yeah, I did that. Okay, so I'm using, gosh, I don't even know which shade this is. Yes, I do. Okay, so this is Chestnut. This is MAC and Chestnut. I'm using that to line my lips. I like to overline the top part of my lips and slightly underneath my lips. Just makes your lips look more, full. So I'm just lining the lips with that liner, and then you'll see me use a MAC lipstick, and then that is in Glam 2 A0 or AC7. I don't know, but it's a very creamy lipstick that I apply. Here it is right here. And you just want to make sure when you apply your lipstick or your lip gloss on top of your liner, you just want to make sure the two blends in together. So you'll see me go back with my pencil just to make sure those two colors are like look like they're blended in together. Okay, so I like a little bit of a bright under eye, especially for my pictures. So I'm using a Charlotte Tilbury in shade number 2, and I'm just using that underneath my eyes only. And like I said, that's just to give a little bit more pop or brightener underneath my eyes. Yeah. So I'm finalizing the face with the Charlotte Tilbury setting mist, and that's it. I absolutely love the way that this face end up looking. Oh wait, I'm talking too soon. I'm using a highlighter. Hello. I started like using the bunt of the sponge to apply highlighter now, because I don't know, I feel like it just makes it look more natural versus using your finger or using a brush, because I think with the brush you get that harsh line, but with a sponge, I don't know, it just looks more seamless. So I'm just putting that to the upper cheekbones, and then you'll see me use a small brush, and I apply it to the tip of my nose and the bridge of the nose. And if y'all saw my last video, y'all saw I put too much highlighter on top of my lips and I looked freaking crazy. All right, y'all, so this is the final look. I'm kind of mad because I got the clip markings from the clips in my hair, but hopefully I have time to flatten out my hair. I probably won't, because we got pictures in an hour and I still got to get myself, my kids and my husband, we all got to work together and get out on time. But this is the face. This is like a bronzy highlight look. I'm actually falling for this. I'm used to always putting blush on, but this is, I'm actually liking the bare face. It's not really a bare face because it's a full face, but it's a no blush face. Let me say that. But I think it's super pretty. Hopefully I'll get some videos of me with my dress looking all glamorous. But yeah, we about to take our pictures. And I did not do an inner quarter pop this time. I didn't really want to do anything too bold to my eyes. I think the gold in the front is more than enough. I like doing soft cut crease. I don't like doing nothing too harsh. And I think I nailed it. But this is super pretty. But I'm finished. I'm about to get dressed. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you pulled out your makeup and you did it with me. What else do I have to say? I don't know, but I gotta get ready. So thanks again. Bye.